Every generation looks back at the Salem Witch Trials and sees something different. From moral panic and religious extremism, to misogyny, political factionalism, and community fracture, to scapegoating and trauma. When we examine the Salem witch crisis through the lens of our own time, certain patterns begin to feel unsettlingly familiar. What happens when fear becomes contagious? When institutions fail? When rumor and innuendo replace real evidence? When power goes unchecked? When communities turn on their own? While the witch trials may have happened more than 3 centuries ago, it isn't hard for us to see how the dynamics that fueled them are still with us today. In fact, these notions are very much a part of what it means to be a human being, both then and now. So as we launch Season 2 of the Salem Witch Trials Podcast, it will be about more than just understanding history. In many ways, it'll be about understanding ourselves. Over the course of dozens of episodes during our first season, we tried to cover the who, what, when, where, and why of the Salem Witch Trials. We generally took a step-by-step approach through the extraordinary chain of events that unfolded in 1692, examining the accusations, the court proceedings, the people at the center of it all, and the devastating consequences that followed. Now in Season 2, we want to go even deeper. We'll continue to tell you the stories of the people involved in this event, and we'll also attempt to gain a deeper understanding of why this crisis erupted in the first place, why it happened in Salem in 1692, and why it all still matters today. Because to understand the witch crisis fully, we need to pull back a bit. As we pointed out in this podcast before, Salem Village in 1692 was not simply a random outpost where a bizarre moral panic occurred. It was a community that was shaped and strained by forces that were far bigger than itself. In Season 2, in part, we'll explore those forces. We'll do our best to step into the daily rhythms of 17th century New England life, the households, the farms, the meeting house, the expectations and the fears. We'll look at faith and how the Puritans understood the invisible world, how their worldview made the idea of witchcraft not only plausible, but urgent. We'll try to understand the psychology behind mass psychogenic disorder. How could it be possible that so many people could claim to be afflicted? We'll study the politics, the property disputes, the generational tensions, the rivalries, and the power structure that shaped the tragedy. And we'll also examine the aftermath, including profiling the people who helped piece Salem back together after this enormous tragedy. And we'll continue to explore what this crisis reveals about human behavior, about fear, about certainty, about belonging, about the other, and about power. So I hope you'll join me, Greg Houle, for Season 2 of the Salem Witch Trials Podcast. I promise the first episode of the new season will be out soon, before the end of the year. I hope you'll come along for the ride.